Hello, hello, hello. Joe Hart here. Person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. How's it going? How is everybody tonight? It's good to see everyone. I always think of things and then it gets me off track. But I'm noticing the reflection in my eyeglasses, which I notice every stream I do. But I'm sure you all notice too, and I'm sure it bothers you. And I haven't really figured out a solution. Like what's on my glasses now is the laptop, and I'm going to always be looking at the laptop. And I can't see too well. Like if I brought down the lighting, let's see here what that would be. Hello, hello, hello. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. That makes a huge difference, but I can't see too well. Wow, that does make a lot of difference. Anyway, I'll try to figure that out because I notice the reflection in my eyeglasses every stream, and especially with these shorts that I'm doing, it gets really, anyway, I know it. I notice it, so I'm sure you all notice it, and I'm going to have to bring the light up, so it's going to be a little more. Anyway, so par usual, I need to move things because I keep hitting them and shaking them and things like that. But hello, it's good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Hello, and thank you to all the viewers and spectators. I really appreciate that. Feel free to come anytime you would like. I do really like when people make comments, but I understand that some won't, may not necessarily make comments, but that's okay. So, anyway, I would probably like to shout out, as I try to do most streams. I wish I had a script, and I wish I was a robot and I would do the exact same thing every stream. But I think people would bore with a robot. So I don't do that, but I'd like to do that. I mean, that's not the reason I don't do it. I just don't do it. So anyway, as usual, I'm streaming on my laptop on StreamYards, and the plan I currently have, which I guess I'm going to probably need to change that pretty soon. But my plan that I currently have, I can stream to up to 8 destinations or platforms. And so I always like to shout them out because, that's where I get comments and engagement and all sorts of stuff, communities in all those locations. So it's all one big place to me. I know some mistakenly suggested to me to not mention those places so much. And I'm like, YouTube's not cutting it. I need to be going elsewhere. So anyway, I just want to mention the 8. So thank you to all the platforms and destinations for viewing, for making comments resident here, making comments resident there. Whatever whatever you got, feedback or questions or anything, I would welcome all of it. I'd love to get some feedback. But anyway, the 8 platforms I go to. So thank you to all of y'all. Facebook profile and Facebook page. I have both, and still evolving whether I understand the two differently. A LinkedIn profile, and then I have 2 YouTube channels currently. One is my original, the Joe Hart PwD's 8641, and then my newer one is that my kitty? Oh, I thought that's my black hat. My black hat, but I thought it was my black cat. If you say black hat real quick, it sounds like you say black cat, but you really say black hat. Don't they sound the same? if someone says, hey, is that your black cat? And I said, no, it's my black cat. That would be a little confusing, don't you think? Anyway, my second YouTube channel is named after my black cat. And it's called Francis Assistant. And then, of course, Twitch is, they are dependable and they're always here. And they bring some viewers and they bring comments. And I'm trying to learn more about you, Twitch. I'm not young and I'm not a gamer, but I'm trying to figure out what to do with Twitch. So thank you for being there, Twitch. I appreciate it. And then, there's a couple Twitter accounts, not my primary Twitter account. They're other, but I would love to figure out my challenges with Twitter. Plus, I wish StreamYard and Twitter would get along a little more. They both pretty openly mention that they're not compatible with each other or going to work on that as a long-term goal, or it's like a messy divorce, I guess, or they never got married. But it's open, it's open. It's kind of strange. So not open, I mean, they freely talk about it. That's what I mean about open. I don't mean open like the other thing. So enough about that. So so those are the 8. And I think I'm going to go ahead and start talking about, the description I have is Sweet 16, March Madness, the Big Dance, the Garden, and then MSG, Madison Square Garden. And the Garden is, as I mentioned often, I usually always talk my language, if people say, is English your first language? Well, my first language is Twitter handle. I talk in Twitter handles. That's what I talk in. I can't clear my throat here. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. So I talk in Twitter handles. So the Garden is the Twitter handle for Madison Square Garden. So anyway, I'll probably go over that, and then I think I want to show some of my other platforms that have the shorts and the reels there, and probably even show a couple of the shorts. I mean, that's what I want, is I want people to see my shorts and give me feedback. So I thought, why not bring them here? Who knows? I come up with the ideas, and if they end up being good ideas, I need to figure out how to follow up and be consistent and that kind of stuff. But this seems like it's going to be a pretty good idea to do. So, okay. So let's see, that would be, I guess these are the same thing, but let me, let's see here, present, share screen. So I think I'll just start with a fairly simple schedule. I wouldn't say it's necessarily simple, because I think it has all pertinent information. So let me let's go see it and see if it is. Now I'm going to go, I guess I'm going to stay on screen for y'all, but off screen for me. So I see me right now and you see me right now. And I see y'all, and you see, So I'm going to stay there on screen for you, but I'm going to actually go off screen. So now I can't see it, and I'll be off screen now. So I can't see you and comments and people coming and go. So anyway, here's the game-by-game schedule. 2023 March Madness live streams, TV time schedule, all times Eastern time. So Sweet 16 is where we're at now. There's 16 teams left, so it's called Sweet 16. So there's 16 teams, mean 8 games, and there's 4 games tomorrow and 4 games Friday. And then the winner of those, there's 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday. And by that time, it'd be the final 4. So we go from 16 to 8 and then 8 to 4. I hope that makes sense. So Thursday, March 23rd, Sweet 16. And the first and the third one here are the ones at Madison Square Garden. I don't believe I'm going, but I didn't think I was going last week. And I ended up going on Sunday. So I have no idea what will happen. I guess it's possible that I would end up going to the Saturday game. It's too much coordinating from me, the hours and the truck stops, and it's just too much coordinating, and it's really expensive city. So anyway, so let me get back to comments here. So I'm back out at comments, and then let me do my usual, not usual, I forget to do it, but I don't know which one to do. Shorts, reels. If that works, I think that's the right thing. It's taken a while. I might have the wrong name. There we go. So if y'all could go to my shorts, and so it's either it's Instagram, NASCAR Inc., same as my Twitter account at Reels, and then Facebook, that's my Facebook page, and the Reels tab, and then the 2 YouTube have shorts. So those are the 4 that I want people to check out. And then I don't think it's YouTube, but I'll try it anyway. YouTube. So we'll let that do what it does. So I'm going to go off screen again. So, okay. So Thursday, March 23rd, number 3, Kansas State versus number 7, Michigan State at 6:30 p.m. TBS channel. That's at Madison Square Garden. Number 4, UConn versus number 8, Arkansas at 7:15 CBS. Don't know where it is. Number 4, Tennessee versus number 9, Florida Atlantic. 9 p.m. TBS. That's Madison Square Garden. I know that one because that's the one I'm thinking of going to. The others, I thought it would have all that information. I'll find it on another screen. Number 2, UCLA versus number 3, Gonzaga. 9:45 p.m. CBS. So this is the Sweet 16, and there's 4 regions. So if there were 0 upsets, all these seeds would be 1st through 4. So it'd be 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s, and that's all we'd see. So anything lower than a bigger number than 4, or that's a lower rank, but those are all upsets. So on Thursday, there's 7th seed Michigan State, 8th seed Arkansas, and 9th seed Florida Atlantic. I like the underdogs. So Friday, March 24th, continued on the Sweet 16. This is day 2 of the Sweet 16. Number 1, Alabama versus number 5, San Diego State, 6:30 p.m. TBS. It's essentially the same times and same channels as Thursday. So number 1, Houston versus number 5, Miami, 7:15 p.m. CBS. And then this is 2 upsets, with 1 being a huge underdog. So number 6, Creighton, which is a bigger number than 4, so that's a lower rank, lower seed, versus number 15, Princeton. And so it goes from 1st through 16th. So 15th is about the lowest rank, almost, the bottom 8 of the teams, and it's in the final 16, which is great. Versus number 15, Princeton, 9 p.m. TBS. And no matter where I'm at, that's the main one I'm going to probably watch that night, unless it's a blowout in either direction. And then number 2, Texas versus number 3, Xavier, 9:45 p.m. CBS. And then Saturday, it's to be determined by the winners. Sorry, that flipped around. I guess it was on the screen. I don't know why I moved it. So Saturday the 25th, it to be determined, but it's 6 p.m. TBS, 8:30 p.m. TBS. And those games are in, I'm sorry, one of those two are in New York City. So I could go to the 2 games on Thursday and the 1 game on Saturday, or just wait until Saturday, or not do any of them. Sunday, same thing, to be determined at 2 p.m. and 4:45 p.m. Sundays have different times than all the other days, understandably so. So, hello. Oh no, did I miss you for a while? Hey, Bee Survivor, how are you? It's good to see you. Hello, Bee. Oh, I put more than 4 E's. I think the formal way I spell it is with 4 E's, but I put a few more in there. So, it's good to see you, B. I'm glad you're here. It's great to have you. And let me remove from stream and stop screen. Hey, Lyndon, how are you? It's so good to see you, Lyndon. Thanks for being here, man. You are so dependable. I am so glad you're here, Lyndon. I really appreciate it. Come by anytime you want. I love seeing you, Lyndon. So thank you so much for being here. So thank you so much. So, hey, Satin Bee, how are you? Long time no see. It's been a while. How's life? I hope everything's okay. And then Bee Survivor, I'm good. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing pretty well. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I started going over the schedule. And so Satin Bee Sade, I think that's Sade, right? It's not Sade. It's not Sade like the singer. Satin Bee Sade. Hello, Joe and everyone. Hello to you, Satin Bee. It's good to see you. It's been a while. I haven't been in Baines. Where are you? Yeah, that's it. Where is Lyndon? Lyndon, we want to find out if your middle name is Baines. Baines, where are you? That's that is such a good question, Bee Survivor. Lyndon, you gotta tell us your middle name. I think it's Baines. No, wait. I think it's hashtag Lyndon not Baines. That's it. That's the hashtag. But we won't know. So anyway, thank you so much. And then hello, Satin Bee. So yeah, Satin Bee, how are you? So yeah, like I said, I'll talk mostly about the Sweet 16. Joe, yes, you are correct regarding my name. Yeah, Sade would be a pretty unique. Not, her name's very unique. And then by most people's standards, she misspells her name because it's Sade. But yeah, that's cool. Well, thanks. I'm glad I was right. Lyndon not Baines. Lyndon not Baines. Lyndon is just so good to see you. And I don't, I won't, it's just way too confusing to even think about his last name. So oh my goodness. So, anyway, holy moly, Lyndon Baines. No, I'm sorry, Lyndon not Baines. Lyndon not Baines. That sounds so familiar. I don't know where that comes from in my memory, but it's something that it's, I don't know. My synapses, they don't always connect, but it sounds really familiar. So, Satin Bee, it's good to see you, of course. And it's great that you're here. And Satin says, Bee Survivor, hello there. Well, hello to both of y'all. That's so cool. Yeah, Bee Survivor's here pretty often. She's one of my dependables, and I think she's a greeter and a mod and all that stuff. So anyway, I went through the schedule and I was going to kind of show the exact same thing in a different format. And, not everybody was here. So I think that will be good. It won't be as redundant. Is that the word? Yeah, redundant. So, sorry, I should have cleared my throat for hours before I came on the screen. I apologize for that. Okay. So this is similar to the information I just read, but it's a little different. Plus, it will have the city, I think. Joe, it's good to see you as well. Yes, it's been a while. Yeah, I'm, it was, November, November and December and January seems so distant ago. But boy, was that incredible. That was intense when I first got involved with YouTube Live, and I was, I'm OCD, so I had to do everything in extreme ways. And I mean, for the first whatever it was, first 3 weeks or first 4 weeks or first 5 weeks, I saw I just saw I don't know. I mean, I can't even think of the numbers, and I jotted it down because I wouldn't remember and I wouldn't believe. My fish story is always, the fish keeps getting bigger because I don't believe it, because I don't remember. But I think I saw like 50 or 60 or 70 different creators every day. I was just watching streams and streams and streams and streams and streams and. And I'm sorry, not follow, but I subscribed to every one of them, and I got all notifications because I wanted to know when they're, but it was just like, it was really intense, but it was good. I'm glad I did that. But now I'm like, oh, I'm just prepping for my own channel. So it's not, I don't get around as much. It's a bummer. I don't see people as much, for sure. So anyway, but I hope all is well. Okay, so I'm gonna I think tonight I'll stay on the screen for you all. You can see me on the screen right now, but I'm gonna go off screen, so I won't be able to see me or the comments or people coming in and out. So this will be if for the people that have been here, for the last page. Some of this will be repeat, but it will have a little more information on it, I think. So let me go to it. So, okay. And it does not have the location. Why doesn't it show the location? I don't get that. Whew. Okay. Anyway, so tomorrow, which is, the Sweet 16, there's 4 games tomorrow, Thursday, and 4 games Friday. So there's Sweet 16 is 16 teams. There's 8 games, so there's going to be 8 winners, and then that'll be the Elite 8. And those 8 will play Saturday and Sunday, and 8 teams, 4 games, 4 winners, and then it's the Final 4. So by Sunday night, we will be down to the Final 4. So anyway, so the NCAA tournament for Sweet 16 for tomorrow. So we have number 7 Michigan State against number 3 Kansas State. That's tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. I know for sure that's at Madison Square Garden in New York City, because I was thinking of going, or I might still do something at the last moment, but I don't think I will. But I might go. Who knows? And then the second game tomorrow is number 8 Arkansas against number 4 UConn, and it's at 7:15. And then the third game tomorrow is number 9 Florida Atlantic to number 4 Tennessee at 9 p.m. And then the last game of tomorrow night is number 3 Gonzaga against number 2 UCLA. And like I said, there's we started with 68 teams, but there's really the first 4, so it's really 64 teams. I still like to focus on the there's a final 1 and 2 and 4 and 8 and 16 and 32 and 64. I like to stay with those are easier numbers for me to deal with. So anyway, we started with 64 teams. So there's 4 regions. And so all 4 regions had their own ranking, their own seeds. So they had a number 1 for their region and a number 16. So 1 through 16, 4 times. So there's 4 number 1s, 4 number 2s, 4 number 3s, all the way down to 4 number 16s, or seed. 16th seed is what it's called. So if there were no upsets and we're down to the Sweet 16 as we are, then that would all be seed 1, 2, 3, and 4 times 4. So there'd be 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s, if no upsets. That was long and complicated to then look at this sheet. So, for the 4 games tomorrow night, Michigan State is 7, so that's an underdog. Arkansas is number 8, so that's an underdog. Number 9, Florida Atlantic, that's an underdog. And then the rest are the people that were supposed to win did win. Now, the one thing that's missing out of all of it is there's not 2 number 1s. Both number 1s were upset in this half of the big dance. So that's kind of strange. So anyway, let's go to excuse me. So let's go back to, by the way, if anybody has any questions or, I don't know, Satin B, if you care about basketball, I know a lot of people just come to streams because, they want to, they like to visit the stream and the people and, all that stuff. So it may not even necessarily be the topic. And, that was a lot. That was usually, like, I love Agenda Free TV, whatever he's talking about. And, I used to always go to, Lost Souls, without me, before I started prepping all my stuff, I'm so busy, or, it feels like I'm so busy. So anyway, I don't know if people are really into basketball. So, or college basketball. So anyway, for Friday, March 24th, same thing. It's the next 4 games, 8 teams of the Sweet 16. So this is half of the Sweet 16. So Friday, March 24th at 6:30, it's number 5, San Diego State, number 1, Alabama. At 7:15, number 5, Miami, Florida, against 1, Houston. At 9 p.m., number 15, Princeton. That's the lowest seeded team, and that's the lowest, the biggest underdog. That's who I'm going to cheer for. They won't win, but we want them to, they might win this game, but they won't win everything, but it'll be nice to see how far they can go. They've already won 2 games, which was not expected at all. So, okay, number 15, Princeton against number 6, Creighton. And then the last game on Friday night is number 3, Xavier against number 2, Texas. So as you can tell from the rankings, 1 through 4 are who is supposed to win, and anything higher number or lower seed is like an underdog. So San Diego State, number 5. Miami, number 5. Princeton, number 15. Yippee. Creighton is even a long shot, number 6. And then the rest are who was expected to win. And, March Madness. Yeah. So you have a question there, March Madness. So yeah, that's Sweet 16 and March Madness and Big Dance are all kind of the same thing. March Madness refers to the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament, I guess is how you describe it. So it's madness. They call it, it's been March Madness for, 30, 40, 50, 70 years. But probably the madness comes from on any given day, any college can beat any other college, because it's so important to be in this tournament, and it's so important to advance. And like I showed the 2 number 1s that were upset. Some people get cocky. Number 1 against 16. Up until 2018, number 16 seed had never beat a number 1 ever in like 70 years or whatever it was. A 16 had never beat a 1. Sorry. Yeah. Please feel free to ask any other questions too. So 2018, a number 16 finally beat a 1. They're like, that's impossible. Nobody can do that. And but all the other seeds did. 15 beat a 2, and 14 beat a 3, and a 13 beat a 4. All the others happened, but not the lowest, not the longest shot. Well, it happened this year. So FDU, I think Franklin Dickinson University, or I'm sorry, I should know their name because it was a great upset. It was so super cool. So anyway, so that's what March Madness is. And it's also called the Big Dance. So the college basketball teams that are still in it, they're like, we're still dancing. I mean, it just has goofy names on it and stuff. And Sweet 16 means 16 teams. So started with 68, which is kind of 4 extra teams for the first, the first pre-tournament games got 8 teams down to 4. And then it kind of started with 64 teams. And then 64, each round it's cut in half. You have 2 teams play each other and 1 wins. So it went from 64 to 32 and then 32 to 16. So 16 is where we are now. And then tomorrow night, 4 will be defeated. And then Friday night, 4 will be defeated. So we'll be in the Elite 8. And then 2 will be defeated on Saturday and 2 will be defeated on Sunday. And then we go from 8 to the 4, Final 4. And I would hope most people have heard of the phrase Final 4, but I mean, it's not necessary. So that's the Final 4. So by Sunday night, late, probably after midnight, but late Sunday night, we'll know who the Final 4 are. And they don't play until Saturday. So for 6 days, there'll be all this hoopla and media and stuff about the Final 4. And it's Saturday, they go to 2, and then on Monday they go to 1. The champion will be a week from Monday. So anyway, I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, and the closest professional team to me in Louisville, Kentucky was the Cincinnati Reds, which anyway, I don't quite understand baseball, and so I don't follow it or, care for it much. But that was the closest team. So in Louisville, Kentucky, all we cared about was college. And I went to University of Louisville, which, they won the championship 2 years, and 2 different years, 1981 and 1988, I think. And but in their football was not very good. So we focused mostly on basketball. So I went to the University of Louisville. I wasn't an exceptional student. I had other priorities in college that most people have in college. So I had, anyway, I didn't do exceptionally well, but I did happen to know how to tutor. So I did end up tutoring a couple of these basketball players that won the championship. So that was kind of cool to walk around campus with them, and people are like, man, you know them? They just won the championship. And I'm like, yeah, I know them. So anyway, it was, small fish and it was small stuff. But anyway, but I haven't been real, every March, it's called March Madness, and, it comes around in March, and I'm like, oh, I forgot all about March Madness. And I'm like, I'm kind of media. It's a long story, but I'm kind of media. And so I want to cover those games sometime. So, but I always remember like the day before it starts, and I'm like, too late, can't do it, forget it. So this year, like 5 days before they were going to announce the teams, they announced the cities. So I researched the cities, and, I'm on a fixed income, and I don't, so mileage was, so I mapped out all the cities. I think there were 17 cities or something, and I mapped them all out to the precise mile and minute that it would take to get there. And so I, the closest, which was Albany, which I went to last weekend, but only for the one day instead of both days. And then the second closest is New York City, which is tomorrow night's game and Saturday's game. I originally wanted to go, but I'm not, it's weird. I travel sporadically, and I travel sporadically a lot, but when I get home, I'm like, no, I don't ever want to leave the apartment. So it gets a little strange and stuff. So anyway, so that's that. I probably went over that way too much. Sorry about that. So stop screen. So let me look at the other college stuff. I think I've covered it. That's the schedule. I went over that. And that's that. I went over that. And then, just to show this, I don't really want to, and it's so big. I don't think it, it takes more than, it's called the bracket. So this is the bracket that comes out. Selection Sunday was, I think, 2 Sundays ago when the announcement came out of who's going to be in the thing. But this is all the 68 teams, and the first 4 are the ones that top there. I guess my cursor, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but these are the first 4. So it's 8 teams that are going to go down the 4, and then the 4 will go into the normal tournament. So there's 60 down here waiting for these 4 to join them, and then it becomes 64. So anyway, it's people fill out these brackets and they bet on them and all those that stuff. I'm not a big fan of all that stuff, but anyway, so that's that. Now I'm gonna I don't know if B is still around, but I'm gonna I think I'm gonna show. I'm gravitating toward doing reels and shorts. So I think I might show a couple of those. So thanks for the explanation. It makes everything make so much more sense. Well, cool. Thank you. And you are here. Yeah, thank you, B. I don't, it's weird. Sorry about that, yeah, I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome. Sometimes I do graded explanations, and then sometimes I go into too many details and stuff. But I think I might show a couple of shorts. Now I have them all, I have my YouTube and my Instagram and my Facebook, and then TikTok, which isn't exactly the same, but I have all 4 of those open and I can show all of them. The 3 are the exact same video, and then TikTok is a really similar video. So, hopefully I won't go overboard. So let me I haven't figured out the one that I like those may have the, yeah, okay, they have descriptions. So okay, so I'm going to take that off B, and then I'm going to go full screen layout. Then I'm going to go off screen. So this is my YouTube channel, JoeHart PwD apostrophe S, which is JoeHart PwDS 8641 is the actual handle. I think this is the name, or I don't know what it's described like. And then these are just my shorts. It's on the tab for shorts, which these are all fairly new. March 9th is when I first started doing these newer ones. And they kind of, these are small potatoes. But as you can see, let's see if that, okay. So same screen for me. So you see me in the lower right-hand corner, a really big picture of my, by myself. So that's that's in 2019. And then the one right next to it, the ones with the black top and the black bottom, those are the new stuff. So they have pretty good descriptions in them. At least tells you. I try to, as y'all know, like when I tweet, I have to use every character. And when I, these titles can be up to 100 characters for most of them. For actually LinkedIn, it has to be 75. So I write 100 and then I have to erase 25. But every stream I have to do it. But it's better than adding 25 for the other 7 streams. So it's better to delete on one, which I already know what I'm going to delete. So it's pretty easy. Or I haven't changed my decision on that. I wish I did have other options. But anyway, so I use every single character. So my descriptions are, they're wordy. And so anyway, so starting down here, Chase Elliott Inconsiderate was probably my first one in recent years. As you can see, I have 3 here. So I had, this is in 2016, that's in 2017, and that's in 2019. And those weren't really shorts. I think they were short enough that they YouTube put them in this area, but they weren't really shorts. So, that's 3 and 4 years. So that's not many. So anyway, Chase, this is March 9th. So March 9th forward, I've done a lot. So this is the first one I did. Chase Elliott inconsiderate about the waivers and breaking his leg and all that stuff. And then Supercars was the second one I did. And then the first four about the big dance, March Madness. And then Saudi Arabia GP, Grand Prix, Saudi Arabia Formula One race over in Saudi Arabia. And then NASCAR penalties for Denny Hamlin and Hendrick Motorsports. And I talked about Ross, but he didn't get a penalty. And then these up here, Haas F1 team. And then this penalized. I wish you could see my whole thing because that's a question. I said, are they going to get penalized because of Russian sanctions? But the way you read it now, it sounds like they were penalized, and I don't want to misrepresent my information. So that is a question. So it's Haas F1 team, and then RATEP, which I didn't find out. I think I found out, but I didn't print it up so I could highlight it and everything. But that's the name of the Russian. Anyway, they're Haas, the owner of Haas F1 team, makes CNC and machines, and they're very superior. Plus, they're very expensive. And he used to sell them to Russia, and then there were sanctions, and so he said, "I'm going to stop selling them to Russia." But then they continued selling them to Russia, and now we just found out. After 2 years ago was when everything came down, and then just a few weeks ago we found out he's still making money. So that's what that's about. And then Ferrari reliability, he's having problems, and then their team principal, Frederic Vasseur, I think is his last name. He tends to laugh a lot, and he does not know Italian. And Ferrari is the only Italian team. All the others are in London, but Ferrari is in Italy. And so he does not speak Italian. So he's going to be the boss. He's going to be the team principal Ferrari without speaking Italian. Plus, they're really intense. And it's not, like in Italy, in Italy, the most important person in Italy is the Pope. And then the second most important person in Italy is Ferrari, or whoever's in charge of Ferrari. And there really are still people with the last name of Ferrari that partially own that company. So they're still around, and they're just right below the Pope. They are right up there with superhuman people. Anyway, so laughing is not really allowed. So he laughs a lot, and he doesn't know Italian. So that's what that was about. And then Mercedes AMG F1, they blocked me, but I'm going to write about them anyway. Have they put the white flag up yet? Or do we keep plugging? Toto Wolff, their team principal, wrote a letter. It was a letter to the fans, and he was telling them how horrible they are, and they should be up top, but they're not up top, and we'll get there. And if you want to support us, great. And if you don't, we won't be hurt if you go to other teams and stuff. And I'm like, come on, you're not supposed to be up top. You used to be up top, but you're not there anymore. So anyway, that's what that is. And then FIAFormulaE.com, that's this weekend at Sao Paulo, Brazil. So that was, I think I did that yesterday. And then the last two here I did today, and I'll probably show one or both of those. Or I might see how these go and just work from the most recent. So the first one today I did This Week in Motorsports, which was also a stream I did. I did that as a topic for a stream, and then I also did a 60-second reel or shorts. And then the last one here is about COTA, Circuit of the Americans, Kimi Räikkönen, Rodney Sandstorm. Rodney Sandstorm is in the description of the short. Can you believe that Rodney Sandstorm is in the description? So anyway, that's going to be what I will show. We'll probably start with the Rodney one. So anyway, feel free. I'm pretty self-critical about my own shorts, and I think I'm doing, it would be kind of nice to show the first and see how they've improved. I wouldn't say I don't think it's linear that I've improved from all of them, but maybe with a dynamic up and down kind of stuff. Oh, I thought I was on the screen. Oh man. Sorry guys. I'm going to go back to being on the screen. And then hopefully they'll still be big enough to show. Anyway, let's see. So I'm going to try to show the Coda Kimi Räikkönen. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. NASCAR's top 3 series, Cup, Xfinity, and Truck, will be at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas this weekend for a 3rd year and a triple header. Coda, as it's known, is a Formula One track. It's 3.426 miles with 20 turns, an elevation change of 133 feet. It's pretty exciting that Kimi Räikkönen will be returning to Coda with Trackhouse Racing again, and Jordan Taylor, Rodney Sandstorm, will be driving for Hendrick number 9. Other road course ringers will be Jenson Button for Rick Ware and Connor Daly. Coda even has a 251-foot observation tower with a glass see-through floor. I actually got up there. I finally was able to get there last year, actually twice, after trying to hitchhike there for 3 years unsuccessfully. Finally, I made it 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. Thanks. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. NASCAR's top 3 series, Cup, Xfinity, and Truck, will be at Circuit of the Americas in Austin. Okay, let me try to, on the fly figure out how to use these things, but so I'll try the next one. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. This week in motorsports is my hashtag that I use. This week, March 20th through 26th, there is FIA, ABB, Formula E in Sao Paulo, Brazil, a NASCAR's triple header at COTA, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, USF Pro Champs, which includes USF Pro 2000, USF 2000, and USF Juniors, is at Sebring. NHRA's second race is in Chandler, Arizona. MotoGP, the International Motorsport Series, is famous and worldwide as F1, is at AIA Portimao in Portugal for the opening race. SCCA, Sports Car Club of America, continues at Buttonwillow Raceway in California. 24-hour series is at Mugello, Italy. TCR South America, and FIA Echo Rally Cup in Czech Republic. This is only a summary of the more well-known racing series for this week in motorsports. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. This week in motorsports is. So I'm going to start a 3rd one, and then when B gets back, I'll probably show the Haas one. So, and then that'll be it. So I'll do the 3rd, 4th. I'll show a couple, and then Haas will be the last one. So let's do FIA Formula E. This is Sao Paulo, Ypres in Brazil. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. Formula E or electric is racing this Saturday in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It is season 9 and it's race 6 of 16. Some fans require carburetors, fuel injectors. I think it's a good idea to give electric racing a chance. They have no acceleration. It's instant torque. It's pretty fascinating to experience. The electric motor does make a noise, but it's not a conventional noise, and it may take a bit to get used to. It's kind of a whir, almost like a rocket. Pilots include Jean-Eric Verne, Sebastian Buemi, Sam Bird, Lucas deGrassi, Stoffel Van Dorn, amongst about 18 others. FIA FormulaE.com have ways to watch for worldwide countries. For the USA, CBSSports.com and their app, FormulaE.com and their YouTube channel are primary choices. Please give electric a chance and enjoy. Thank you. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. Formula. So I'm going to do another, and then let's see here. So this is Mercedes. Art here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. Mercedes AMG F1 seems to have started off a little rough for 2023. Total Wolff wrote a letter to the fans. It appears that he assumed that they're supposed to be on top and they're not. I'm not sure if that's entirely true. It appears that they're bringing James Madison back after he's been gone for 1 or 2 years. And it's not clear whether they're going to replace Mike Elliott. Aston Martin is doing better than Mercedes, even though I believe that Aston Martin copied their car. In drivers' points, Hamilton is 5th. and Russell is 7th. So what are your thoughts on Mercedes' situation after one race? Is it time to throw up the white flag and give up like Toto's letter seems to be? Or do you think they ought to keep plugging away since it was just one race? Anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks. Art here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible. So I cut that one off. Sorry. Let's see here. So Ferrari is next, and then I'll probably play Haas anyway. But I was hoping to do. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. Ferrari started this season with similar reliability issues from last year with the power unit failure for Leclerc during the first race. And so during the second race, he's gotten a 10-place grid penalty. Saudi Arabian GP ought to be pretty good for Ferrari. So hopefully they can reverse their reliability issues. I would like to once again say that I don't believe that Mattia Binotto was the problem. Not his fault. I think they just wanted to blame someone for their disappointing results during the last few seasons. Sanz is in 4th place with points, and Leclerc was unclassified. 19th if we had to guess, but he was unclassified. How will Frederic Vasseur do as Ferrari's new team principal when he doesn't speak Italian and he seems to laugh a lot, maybe too much? Ferrari is known for being really intensely serious. What do you think of Ferrari's reliability after one race? Thanks. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disability. Okay, let's see here. I guess I'm going to just keep going, but I'm going to skip Haas in case B does come back in a timely fashion. And, I want to, she liked it. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I feel the need to talk about Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain situation, mainly because NASCAR is waiting until Wednesday to do the penalties. They found out about Denny's comments on Dale Jr.'s Dirty Mo's video. That's why they delayed penalties by a day. My opinion about Denny and Ross is known. I need to stop being amazed what Denny continues to do. He is such a baby. I think Hendrick is the golden child of NASCAR, and for some reason, Denny Hamlin is too, but they're both getting penalties today. If Denny was not getting a penalty, they would have announced it on Tuesday. I applaud NASCAR for giving him a penalty, hopefully a serious one. He takes no responsibility, such a jerk, won't grow up, and he's a team co-owner. One of his drivers is a baby just like him. So I guess he's learned from the best. Let me know what you think about the Denny and Ross situation. Thanks. Hello, Joe Hart here, person. Okay, I think this one, it's not there. Okay. This is Saudi Arabia. Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. The second race of the Formula One season, Saudi Arabian GP, is this weekend. All times are Eastern Daylight Time. Free practice 1 and free practice 3 are Friday and Saturday, respectively, at 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Free practice 2 and qualifying is Friday and Saturday, respectively, at 1 to 2 p.m. Then the race is at 1 p.m. Sunday on ESPN with the pre-race at 11:30 a.m. I'm pretty excited for the second race. Not too excited about Max's domination already. I would love to see a second team to compete with Red Bull and/or a second or third or fourth driver to compete with Max. Excited about Allo. Love to see him continue to go for it. Can't believe I'm cheering for Mercedes to become a favorite and for Ferrari. Oh, are they going to disappoint this year again? I don't believe Mattia Binotto was the problem. Enjoy the race, and we can talk about it all on all the different platforms during watch-alongs. Thank you very much. Hello, Joe Hart. Whoops. Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna I'm trying to do shorter and shorter streams. I'm gonna try to shoot for an hour or less. I mean, it depends on the topic and stuff like that. So I think some streams will be 25 minutes, and some will be less than an hour, and then some will be hour and a half, 2 hours. But I don't, and I know I always go longer than I expect, but I think my 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 hour ones are, I just don't have that time, and I don't think other people have that time. So I don't think I'll be doing those anymore. It is coming up on an hour. I wanted to show the Haas one. So let me do one more and then Haas. Okay, so okay, this is the first 4 in Big Dance March Madness NCAA. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities, on selection Sunday, March 12th. The 68 teams that were invited to the 2023 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship were announced. The March Madness begins with the first 4. Tonight and tomorrow night, March 14th and 15th at the UD Arena in Dayton, Ohio. 4 11th seed teams and 4 16th seed teams play each other to see which 4 advance to the Big Dance. Tonight and tomorrow night games are on True TV. The first round of 32 games are March 16th and 17th, Thursday and Friday, and the second round of 16 games are March 18th and 19th, Saturday and Sunday. Then the Sweet 16 is March 23rd and 24th. The Elite 8 is March 25th and 26th. The Final 4 is Saturday, April 1st, and the NCAA Championship game is April 3rd. Get your bracket votes in. Enjoy. Hello, Joe Hart here. Okay, so welcome back, B. I'm glad you're back. I just showed quite a few, probably 6 or so, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, something like that of my shorts. I wanted to, I was just going back in reverse order, like the most recent, second most recent, but I was waiting for you to get back to show the Haas one, since the Haas one you seem to show some interest in, and I like it too. But anyway, I that's probably the last thing I'll show, and then I'll start doing my goodbyes and stuff. But I wanted to keep it under an hour, and I'm going to be right close to it, or a little over it. But anyway, so let's go to the Haas one. So this is Haas F1 team, which is Gene Haas, and a couple years ago they stopped doing business with Russia because of the war, supposedly because there's sanctions, and then recently he's been discovered that he's doing them again. Here it is. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. Haas F1 team and Gene Haas apparently still has financial ties to Raytep, a weapons manufacturer in Russia. Haas's vice president, Peter Zerhut, denied that. I'm going to continue doing research to find out more. I like Gene Haas. I tolerate Tony Stewart because of Gene. I want to like Haas F1 team because they're the only American team in 30 years in F1. I had a lot of trouble with Mazepin as a driver because he groped a female and put the video on the internet, and allegedly, Haas hasn't cut their ties with Russian military companies. Similar to the groping situation, I was amazed that F1, FIA, and Liberty Media made no stance on what ought to happen with Nikita Mazepin and Haas F1. And they didn't really even take a stand against the war. I hope they take a stand, at least for the first time. Let me know what you think about Haas with your comments. Thank you. Hello, Joe Hart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. Haas F1 team and Gene Haas apparently still has financial ties to Raytep, a weapons manufacturer in Russia. Haas's vice president, Peter Zerhut, denied that. I'm going to continue doing research to find out more. I like Gene Haas. I tolerate Tony Stewart because of Gene. I want to like Haas F1 team because they're the only American team in 30 years in F1. I had a lot of trouble with Mazepin as a driver because he groped a female and put the video on the internet, and allegedly, Haas hasn't cut their ties with Russian military companies. Similar to the groping situation, I was amazed that F1, FIA, and Liberty Media made no stance on what ought to happen with Nikita Mazepin and Haas F1. And they didn't really even take a stand against the war. I hope they take a stand, at least for the first time. Let me know what you think about Haas with your comments. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while. Thanks for I'm glad we saw it, and I certainly was probably prompted by B to at least focus on it a bit. So yeah, thank you. That was and for me, 60 seconds just is not enough time to, I'm hearing that. I'm like, oh, I left out that detail. I mean, I didn't forget it and left out that detail. I wrote it, like, I speak, I don't write anything and I don't type anything. I speak it. So I do a trial run and just speak it. And then it's usually over a minute. So then I have to compress it. But yeah, I was like, no, there's more to the story, which is, I mean, of course, that's the whole deal, is that there's more to the story. But anyway, that was pretty cool. It is at an hour and 25 seconds right now. So I think I'm going to start to head out. And it always takes me a little extra time to say goodbyes and stuff. But anyway, Bee Survivor, thank you so much for being here. And thanks for coming back. And of course, Lyndon, it's always great to see you, Lyndon. So great to have you here. I appreciate you coming each and every time. You are so loyal. You come every stream. That is so nice, Lyndon. And so, yeah, I'll probably try to get stuff. I'm not as active on Discord as I used to be. And, I can certainly get back to that if people want to do the Audible, the audio meeting room or whatever it's called. We can try that. And I'm getting less posts there these days, so I'm not over there nearly as much as I used to be. So anyway, we can always do that kind of stuff. And there's always stuff to do. But anyway, again, a shout out to the 8 streams. I'm streaming on StreamYard here on my laptop, and I'm sending it to 8 destinations, 8 platforms. So I want to thank them all. Facebook profile, thank you. Facebook page, got 2 of them, don't quite understand it. LinkedIn profile, 2 different YouTubes, YouTube Joe Hart, YouTube Francis. Twitch, you're loyal, thank you so much. I someday will know what you all are about, but thank you for showing up and writing comments and everything. You all are great. And then Twitter, I still love Twitter. Twitter is still my biggest, that's my biggest market. That's my biggest community. Is I wouldn't necessarily use the word community for Twitter, but it's my biggest market. So it's suffering a bit because StreamYard isn't, you can't make comments from Twitter when you're watching StreamYard. So anyway, and Satin B, thanks, Joe. It was really good to be here. Well, I appreciate you being here. It's basketball. Certainly it's not, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I do appreciate you being here. And I'm glad you asked about March Madness because, I forget, I did a stream about a week or so ago, and I used some term. Oh, I think it was March Madness. And one person asked and the other person was like, oh, thank you. I thought I was the only one that didn't know what the word was. So anyway, I've done it twice now. But anyway, I ought to learn that not everybody knows these words and I need to explain them. Plus they're in the title. So I ought to just go, Sweet 16 is this, March Madness is this, Big Dance is this, The Garden is this, it's in and I like to use that descriptor. So anyway, sorry, I got off topic there. So Satin, I do appreciate you being here. And B, of course, as always. But yeah, thank you to all those people. And then the way I let's see here. Thanks. Thank you to 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm not the quickest typist, especially when everybody's watching and waiting. So sorry about that. Thank you to B and Satin B. Oh, there's 2 B's, B and Satin B, and everyone. So that's, I wrote it once, but it's going to post 4 times. So anyway, I'm going to end usual. I hit end broadcast, then I have to hit the button again for a second time. And at this point in time, every stream I go, I still haven't checked the end of one of my videos. I would like to check the end of one of my videos sometime. Maybe someone can send me a text and say, Joe, have you checked the end of a video yet? Or something. Who knows? By the way, text did not go through earlier today. I'm not sure why, but okay. So I hit end broadcast, and then I have to hit it again. You know, I count down 3, 2, 1, hit it, 3, 2, 1, hit it, and then it takes about 3 seconds for it to turn off. Then I check my 8 destinations or platforms, but my comments still keep working. And then when I'm done with my 8 platforms, then I hit leave studio, and that's when the comments end. I don't have, you know, some people have people backstage and they can talk on the comments, and you know, I'm just my solo, which, you know, I used to have panels and I can get back to panels, and sometimes I just don't think of them. And I probably need to pick topics that are panel conducive, like true crime and things like that. But anyway, I'll figure out how to do it. But people feel free to go, hey, do you want to have a panelist? You know, and I'll go, oh, I forgot, you know. So, okay. So that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, B. Thank you, Satin B. I appreciate you coming, Satin B. That's so cool. And asking about March Madness, as they did the last time, because I forgot that's the word they asked about. So, okay. 106. I try to hit an hour, and I'm sorry I didn't do it. So I will hit end broadcast in 3, 2, 1. And then now I'm going to hit it again, but I'm going to count up, because that's why I want to check the end of my video. How long does it take to end once I hit end broadcast? So 3, 2, 1. 1, 1.